Hey guys, welcome back for another video. It's me, With You Will. So yeah, like I said in the past, I'm taking like a huge break in the month of August after playing Greensboro because we finished, right? So yeah, I just want to have those videos where I just want to like reflect, talk, and just go into more personal things because a lot of the times when I play Chrono Case, I don't even go into those things because I'm always busy, obviously, with the stories and stuff. But I feel like it's a good time to just talk and, yeah, just share some stories and stuff. Because honestly, this is kind of one of the reasons why I wish, like, maybe I should do streaming or whatever. But obviously, I can't. I don't think I can stream, not on mobile at least, because I usually record videos on mobile, but I can't like do it like I can't live stream on mobile because I don't know. I just can't. I tried before, but there were some restrictions. I don't know what those were about, but yeah, I never had like those videos where I just talk, share, and reflect, and I kind of want to do that because I'm taking a break from Criminal Case, either if it's burnout or just because I just finished. Obviously, I just wanted to break from it for a bit, and also since it's August, I also just want to relax and prepare myself for the school year. So I'm just gonna do like simple like videos like this, like kind of like podcast story like videos. I think it's very important to reflect on the past because they help you understand things that are happening right now, and depending on whether like it improved or not, it makes you appreciate the stuff that is going on right now. It makes you appreciate the moments and how far you have came. I just have one of those moments. In fact, I have a lot of those moments that I want to talk about in other videos too. So I was out just having dinner with my cousins, and one of the things that I mentioned to them was like how I basically started talking to them more and everything. Because you guys know in my videos, whenever I talked about my family and stuff, it was always in a negative light. Throughout my childhood, I was always skinny shamed by my uncles, aunts, relatives, and even my immediate family. They always tell me to like bulk up, eat more, and yeah, they still do. But obviously, I don't take their comments as harshly as I would in the past. In the past, I was always like sensitive. I was always like, having to throw shade back because I was obviously a kid. I was like being stupid and everything. Obviously, I always had like some kind of like response to say. But now, like, yeah, even though some of the comments sometimes they can hurt me, I don't take it to the heart as much because I'm grown. I I react to things differently because obviously you cannot change how people say or have what their opinions are, but you can at least change how you react to them in a way because sometimes and also it's family too. So I realize now that the comments they say now, like when they make skinny shaming comments now, it's more like in a joking manner because I've conditioned myself to realize that our conversations are usually satire and just friendly. So when it comes to like insults like that, I always take it lightheartedly. Unless it comes from like a family member who I do not talk to or know very well, that's when I kind of like take it more harshly, but not as much as I would in the past because obviously I'm like, you know what, it's just gonna fly over my head, forget about it, I don't care. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I don't know why every time I like eat out with them and stuff, I will always like force myself to eat so many chicken wings for some reason. Like one week, it was 15 chicken wings from this one bar and grill that we bought it from, like takeout. Then the week after, it was 14. And then the week after, I ate 8 wings and I like got very sick. And I realized at that point that at this point, I was forcing myself to eat as many because of what they said. And I thought that was strange because, like, this isn't me. I should not be forcing myself to eat so many to the point where I'm getting sick just to impress my family, right? So, yeah, obviously, my relationships with my older family, not immediate family, I would say, more like cousins, uncles, aunts, nieces and nephews, cousins. I said cousins already, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, those relationships have gotten better to the point where I even just shared with them tonight when my mom kicked me out of the house, which I will share about in a different video. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but right now I just want to talk about my relationships with my family. And I will say that I like the fact that they're seeing me more than just a skinny kid, because before they always see me as like a skinny kid, a skinny shy kid who want nothing to do with his family, just wanted to do his own thing, and apparently gets bad grades. I don't know why they thought I was getting bad grades. A's and B's are not bad, but yeah, they always thought I was getting like bad grades and everything. But now that they got to know me a bit more, that I graduated high school and I started college, they started seeing me in a different light, which I like. You know, it shows growth in all of us, really. But yeah, they see me that I'm in college, that all of my like my tuition is all paid through my scholarships and grants that I earned through my academics. They see me that I'm doing IT now, and they see me that I'm actually like trying like to hang out with them, get to know them a bit more. They got to know me a bit more than when I was younger. Obviously, when I was younger, they were quick to judge that I was just some skinny kid who would like do bad in school and who wanted to pursue careers in like non-realistic things, which is kind of true because I wanted to do photography. But yeah, but now that I'm more older now, and I'm actually like trying to hang out with them, and I'm more closer with them, I've been spending more time with them, maybe even more time with them than I did with Carly, Tram, and Helen, and even my own sister. Like, I've been spending more time with them at parties than I do with them, and I've been recording YouTube videos with them in the past. You guys know that. So like, yeah, they got to know me a bit more, and they started to respect me a bit more, and I'm actually glad. And I'm starting to see them in a different light too, not just them seeing me in a different light, but I'm also seeing them in a different light. And that just really shows how much like both parties have grown and how much things could get better if things are done differently. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too quiet because it's like nighttime and my family should be sleeping. I just got back from hanging out with my older family, like I said, which is why I'm making this video, by the way, if you guys are wondering. But it's strange because I got emotional today. I got very emotional. I started like sharing like things that I don't share with them often. Like I said, the fact that my mom kicked me out of the house and other things, in the past. I told them the time where we all went to Texas in 2018. They don't remember because at the time, I wasn't close with them. I didn't talk to them at all. In fact, I was probably the one avoiding them because obviously young me would retaliate if my family members would like skinny shame me so much, you know? So they didn't remember me being with them in Texas in 2018, but I remembered clearly, because one thing I would guarantee, when it comes to my life, the thing that I would remember the most is the dates and the events, like the details. I would remember those very clearly. I can remember things as far as to 2011, yeah. So I was like 5 at that time. So yeah, I can remember events and stuff like that all the way back to 2011. But yeah. So yeah, basically when I mentioned them that, hey, I was in Texas with you guys back in 2018, which was 7 years ago, and they're like, oh, really? Like, they didn't remember me because obviously I didn't talk to them at the time. I wasn't close to them as I am right now, which makes sense. It makes sense. And that's when I realized, oh, wow, like how much, like, how far I've gone to, like, just, like, completely avoiding them when I was younger. Even just, like, the recent years, like, in high school, I would avoid them. And that was only a few years ago, by the way. But now in, like, the last 3 years, I think it was November 2023, was really when I started to like, hang out with them a bit more, which was during my senior year of high school, by the way, if you guys are wondering. Yeah, that's when like I started hanging out with them a bit more. They started like talking to me a bit more, especially now I'm in college. Now that's when they really started talking to me a bit more, and it just makes me happy. And I feel like that's partially the reason why my mental health has like gotten a little bit better. And I wouldn't say it was just college was the reason. Yes, I would say it was a big part of it, but I think one of the big parts of it was senior year was when I was a little bit more happier. Aside from like the nitty gritty stuff, like the high school drama, my mom kicking me out, which I will like talk about, like I said, in a different video. But I think it was like during the latter half of my senior year, like 2024, that's when I like started to engage with them a bit more, and I was a bit more happier. In I was definitely more social than I was in the past, because during my senior year, like I said, I would always take photos for events and stuff. So I would like social and network with other people and talk to people a lot more. So I feel like it wasn't even just college was the reason why I'm more social, whether it's towards my friends or family. It was definitely senior year. That was when I was more social. It wasn't just college. It was definitely high school. Not high school. It was definitely just senior year of high school where I became more social, more confident, I guess. I wasn't as shy as I was in the past, because I began talking to more people than I would in the past a lot. I know I've been saying these words a lot, but I'm just trying to like phrase it a bit better. So yeah, during my senior year, because I take photos, I was a photographer, I began talking to people a lot more, which I think influenced how I talk to my family and how like I got the courage to talk to them more, especially to members who I often avoided back then during my childhood, whether it was middle school or even just my teen years. I would start talking to them more now. So like I would say for me, my mental health had increased or at least improved in like the latter half of 2023, but especially the early part of 2024. I think that's when it got even better, because that's when I was like closer to graduating and getting closer to college, and then especially when college happened, that's when I noticed the changes a bit more. Before it was always subtle, but when I began my first year of college in the fall of 2024, which is when I first started Criminal Case, by the way, I can definitely tell like how much has changed, and it makes me like feel bittersweet about how far I've gotten, and makes me happy where I am with my family and my relationships with them. Between me and my immediate family, like my mom and my sister, I don't really tell the difference, but I do appreciate the things that my sister does. Although I can't take her seriously sometimes because she jokes a lot. So even when I'm at like my serious moments, I can't tell if she's like just being satire and jokingly because for the sake of her personality, or she just doesn't understand that I'm genuinely trying to be serious and emotional right now. Because even just today when I was mentioning her about how I felt, she was like jokingly about it because I started crying. And she was like, "Oh, are you crying? Are you crying? Do you need a hug?" So I can't tell, she's just an oddball. My mom, I mean, like I said, I'm going to talk about that in a different video. But even just immediate family, I feel like it has gotten a little bit better, but not too much, which is kind of disappointing. But, I'll take little small improvements over like constant linear, stuff. Or just downhill. Downhill is definitely worse. But it's definitely not constant or linear. It definitely improved a little bit, but it was a bit of a struggle to get there. And I feel like sometimes it still is. But that'll be all for this video. I didn't want to take too much of your time, but, I'm just happy of how things are going between me and my other family members who I often avoided and ignored. Because, I don't know, I guess that shows how, like, how much you have grown and matured over time, and not just for me but also for them as well, how much they have grown and changed, and how we both saw each other at, differently now because of that, which, is quite nice. It's quite nice. As for my younger cousins like Tram, Carly, Helen, who I made videos in the past, I don't talk to them as much compared to them anymore, which is strange. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense because in the past, they would always target me because I was the only guy in the group. Because it's Tram, Carly, Helen, and my sister. They were all girls, and I was the only guy in the group. So they would always harass me to the point where I left the group chat, our group chat that we had, twice, and a nearly third time back in like 2021 and 2022. Like, you guys seen how they were in the past videos in 2020 and 2021. They were a bit more toxic and a bit more aggressive towards me. I'm not sure if that is true, but I feel like you can kind of tell from like the videos and stuff, especially the ones in 2020. You can definitely kind of tell, but obviously they're more grown now. But I like talking to the older cousins for one of the reasons is I'm more engaged. Like, I get more involved in like older and more mature conversations because we talk about like futuristic goals, plans, and more exciting things. Whereas when I talk to my younger cousins and even my sister, who's actually older than me, but she doesn't talk to any of the older cousins because she's more like on the quiet, shy type. She doesn't really talk to them, and she doesn't really want to talk to them every time I try to make her. But when I talk to the younger ones, they're always like, jokingly, some of the things they say are satire. I mean, it's kind of hard to get like serious conversations with them. I'm not saying all the conversations that I have with them are like unserious, but a lot of the times it's more like satire, insulting each other and jokingly and carefree, which I'm okay with. It adds a balance between my personality because I'm more like half and half. Like, I don't mind the carefree and more like the joking type, group dynamic, but the reason why, like I say, I talk to the older cousins a bit more and I kind of prefer to talk to them a bit more is because they're more on the wiser, more serious side because they're like in their 20s and 30s, which makes sense. And, I'm excited. And not only that, but a lot of them are guys too. So, like, of course I can relate with them compared to, the younger ones. Because, I mean, with the younger ones, I had a bond with them over Minecraft and Roblox. But because I quit Roblox and we don't play Minecraft with each other anymore, and some of us don't even play Minecraft at all, like me. Like, obviously, we just don't really, talk to each other about that anymore. So we just talk about, like, some other things, like, random stuff, like school, and, yeah, that's pretty much it, if I'm gonna be honest with you. School, I mean, Tram and Carly just graduated this year, so they're gonna be going to the same college as me, so I guess that's something, but I am playing soccer with the older cousins, so, like, of course, my dynamic and bond with them is definitely more stronger than with the younger ones. I mean, if anyone, the only younger cousin that I really talk to is Tram because she's been like asking me for help when it comes to like college and stuff because I've been here for like 1 year and she's an upcoming freshman of the same college, so she obviously wants advice and stuff. And as for like Carly, Helen, I mean, I don't really pay attention to them. They don't really say much because, well, Carly's working. Helen, she's in high school. And my sister, she just insults everyone. So, like, I don't know. Like, she gives, like, the most corniest and cringiest insults to everyone, especially towards Tram. I don't know what's going on with her. But she's been hanging out with her boyfriend, so, like, I don't really care about what's going on there either. So, like, yeah, everyone's just doing their own thing in that group chat, but me and my older cousins, we all play soccer as of now, and, that's why we're, like, my bond with them seems to be a bit stronger than my bond with them, with the younger ones, as of now. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys listening in and tuning into this story, podcast, whatever you like to call it. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Get out.